A man decided to get his girlfriend a DNA test for Christmas. And he asked both of her parents before getting her the present just to make sure it was a good idea.
How related were they?
So that's where I thought this was going. I thought her parents were going to be cousins or something weird. But actually what ended up happening is she found that she had a half-sister. So she looked into that, and she called her mom because she'd never heard about this person. And she asked her, hey, do I have a half-sister? And her mom was like, no, you don't have a half-sister. What are you talking about? And
Well, it would have had to have been through the dad then, right?
no, it was definitely through the mom. Like,
What? How does the mom have another kid she doesn't know about?
she knows. She was just lying. So the girl
But
asked
the boyfriend asked. Like, that's the whole purpose of asking, right? It's like, she's not going to find out this isn't her dad or anything. That's why you ask.
That's the crazy part. The mom should have known, like, right away, like, no, don't do that. But she let him do it. So the test comes back. She has a half sister, and so she asks her mom because it turns out that the father is listed as another guy.
Right.
So she knows it's her mom who's probably related to this kid.
Okay.
So she asks her, and her mom's like, first she denies it. Then she's like, she hears the name of the guy. She's just John Smith or whatever.
Yeah.
And the mom is like, what are you talking about? And so then the mom finally comes out and admits that she had left, they had broken up, her and the girl's father,
Right.
for one weekend. And she went back to her ex for that one weekend and then got back together with her boyfriend after that. And here's what the amazing thing is. Her husband never found out that she was pregnant or had a child.
How?
It was a secret for 30 years.
They were together while she was pregnant?
The article doesn't explain how he didn't know.
Well, I've never watched it, but I think there's like a TLC show or one of those things that called didn't know I was pregnant or something. Because some women just they
don't
barely
very
show it.
much.
Yeah.
So if you wear some floppy clothes, they're like, oh, you're getting kind of fat, honey.
Comes out in the toilet. A baby. And
Toilet baby.
It is crazy though that they could be like intimate with each other and everything, and he never even noticed.
Yeah.
I mean, what's crazier to me is that one weekend she was like, I can't go without sex for one weekend.
And make it unprotected.
Yeah, make it unprotected. My goodness. And then she was like, don't tell your father. I mean, that's a bold woman. She could murder somebody and walk away from it.
Oh, speaking of like, like not knowing. So this dude was like, he was married to this woman for like years. And like, at one point he found out that she was a dude. So how do you hide that?
Yeah. Maybe she was really good at, like, passing. It's because there are, like, people who are post-op who are very, like, they look like women.
Yeah, but you just, like, slip the beehole every time you're together?
Probably, like, have one of those made, what are they, like, inverted penises, I think, or whatever they are?
I have no idea.
I mean, I definitely remember seeing like a Jerry Springer back in the day that was like, that situation of people that were dating, but not people that had been like married.
Been together for a while.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like, how does that happen? I do wonder, like, with all these like people taking DNA tests, it probably is going to be even tougher for there ever to be a huge serial killer because, like, if they cut, a killer's DNA, like, even if their DNA wasn't on file, they could probably find somebody who's
a relative.
a
cousin or somebody.
Yeah, that took a test, and they're going to find you based on that.
I think that happened with the Golden State Killer. Like, it turned out he was a cop. And,
yeah, they got one of his relatives, and
his
then
niece.
They had to go get his DNA from his garbage to prove it. But yeah.
Yep, so they caught him, and that's crazy, man. Like, several, 20, 30 years later or something.
Yeah, DNA, some of those old cases where they can dig up the DNA is powerful.
Yeah, I heard about I don't know if this is true, I just saw it on TikTok, but there was a guy talking about how, like, this ancestor, like a caveman type, died, like, 16,000 years ago.
Okay.
And just a few miles away, his, like, relative who's living today was teaching at a university.
Oh. You're the 18th cousin of a Neanderthal.
Yeah, basically, man. Like, I would be blown away. And they showed the reconstruction. Like, the ancestor was black, and the guy now is white, so... That's wild.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting. Yeah, that'd be a pretty great find.
You know, I have wondered like how many similar stories to that people found out that, you know, that they had brothers and things they didn't know about because they took those tests, or maybe they found out, you know, the person they were with was related on some level, or maybe their parents were related and they didn't know it.
That's the story I want to hear about. I want to see like where first cousins married each other without knowing or something.
Man, the best one ever was this like white supremacist, and he found out like he was an eighth black or something. That one was awesome.
I heard about this one couple. They were very racist.
Yeah.
And it turned out they were Jewish. And then they became very Jewish. Like super, super Jewish. Very religious.
They just have to.
They just jumped in both feet.
What would you do? Like, let's say you found like the love of your life. You guys have been together for like, you know, like a year thinking about marriage. And you're like, you decide to take one of those, or you both do it, and you find out that you're cousins.
Oh, man.
Like, do you just go, well, in for a penny, in for a pound? We already did it. Or you know, does it separate you because you're like, well, we can't have kids?
Well, I'm like getting to the age where like a woman my age might not be able to have kids anyway. At which point, like, what's the moral ground?
I thought you were going to say you're getting to that age where you'll settle for
Yeah, I thought you were going to say, I'll fuck my cousin.
It's like, we're not going to have kids.
What
Stop
age
being a
is
prude. It's like when you turn 21, you can have alcohol. When you turn 40, you can start having sex with your cousins. We don't have enough of those good birthday markers that, you know, when you start getting a little older, you need something.
Yeah, they should have one, you know, how like every anniversary people have, it's like, oh, it's the paper anniversary, it's the leather anniversary.
Right.
Like every year should be something like, oh, this is the cousin fucking anniversary, like birthday or whatever.
I mean, we all are cousins to some degree. So
I mean, the Adam and Eve thing isn't necessarily so far from the truth. We all have common ancestors.
yeah.
Genetically, we have to, but
And over time, I'm sure we've mixed back, you know,
Yeah.
people and stuff. So
basically, you just need a certain amount of genetic variation, so you know you don't have issues.
yeah. I mean, what level of cousin would you be okay with?
Well, I mean, I think scientifically, second cousin's okay.
Scientifically, yeah. It's a little too close.
Socially, maybe not so much.
I think fourth cousin. That's like really pretty good distance, I'd say, genetically and everything.
If they're far enough that you don't think they'll show up at a family reunion.
If it won't get back to your family.
I mean, I'm guessing in small communities, like those thirds and fourths probably happen like more often than you even realize.
Oh yeah, I bet. I know in some Middle Eastern countries, like first cousins get married over there.
Yeah, first is pretty close. I think you can have genetic problems at first cousin, but
Yeah, you could have issues. Not for me.
good to know.
Zach, is it for you?
We'll see how desperate I am.
When you get to 40.
Yeah, when I get to 40, it's on.
They say horny 40.